What going on, everybody? This is David Mitchell here, and welcome back to Fan to Train, episode 75. And let go, brightline. Here a little bit, still a little damp, but we're talking about brightline today and some other stuff too. So, yeah. So, I do got some stuff to talk about today with brightline. With it getting so close to the opening, that I'm looking forward to. So, yeah. Brightline, it getting close to it. Big opening for full chain I see from Miami to Orlando. So, that going to be fun knowing that operating. But, well, yeah. Let's see who is online. Oof. One of our new guy. The man from Tokyo. What's going on, man?
Yeah, about you?
Good. A little tired from work today. A little bit sunburn on back at neck.
Really?
Yep. Dude, have you been keeping track of Brightline?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Dude, they are going to get ready to probably start operating train from Miami to Orlando really soon.
Yeah, hopefully by the summer.
Dude, it probably sometime this month that they're probably going to.
Oh, yeah.
So that I'm looking forward to. You know the airlines are going to panic about this. Am I right?
Yeah.
They are going to panic.
Absolutely.
And hopefully... I'm sorry, you could say what you were going to say.
And like I said last week,
Mm-hmm.
Randall.
Yeah, screw that prick. But are you looking forward to the shit show that is getting ready to happen with the airlines? Are you looking forward for the shit show that is getting ready to happen with the airlines?
I'm not really sure what you're talking about.
The crap show that the airlines are getting ready to have happen to them once Brightline start doing their operations.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah. They're going to have a pretty tough time.
Oh, tell me about it. They're going to be squirming like no tomorrow. Am I right?
Yeah. And concerned with what I'm pretty sure that's former CEO of, I'm pretty sure Spirit Airlines, like I'm pretty sure 5 or 6 years ago about, road connecting Orlando and Miami.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of that have you heard? The air union, like the airline union, they're going on a strike.
Huh.
Like they were talking about it on the news a couple of days ago.
Really?
Yep. So they're gonna beat up an internet and in hilarious.
Yeah.
But you can tell the cracks are starting to form for the collapse of the air industry, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So we're about to get a big downfall of the airlines. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, once Brightline starts showing what we could happen all across our country, only the first step, you know?
Yeah.
Speaking of that, even better news, Brightline is getting ready to start breaking ground on Bright West in Las Vegas this month.
I have heard that I have heard that Brightline has got some support from Congress people over in Nevada. I'm pretty sure some in California too.
Yeah, they are actually getting ready to start breaking ground this month.
Wait, what? This month?
Yes, what I heard.
Wow.
So
at least there's some bright news about Brightline. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty surprising for me to see a Brightline was rendering with an NFL Liberty, because we all know that previously they used to have the Siemens ICE. So
let's be honest, I think they want to something much better than. Let's be honest, Siemens is good, but they're not that good. Am I right?
Yeah, and also pretty much surprising. The other pretty much surprising is that back in already back from I'm pretty sure 2015 or 2016 when Brightline was still over Florida, so just doing tests, they were already had contract with Siemens to use their locomotives. So I think that was kind of surprising for him because the Avilias are built by Alstom. So.
To be honest, if they had not had that contract, they probably would have did electrified instead. Let's be honest. They would have probably went electrified. Heck, one thing I do not agree with is the new line being single track from where it split off from the Florida East Coast to the airport.
Yeah.
That.
I think and I'm pretty sure they're also going to do the same thing for Brightline West because they're going to put on I-15. I'm pretty sure it was so. I do get that they're trying to manage it to complete it by the World Cup or the Olympics, but I really hope they kind of add a second track, hopefully next to the I-15 in the future, just because we know that there will be a big corridor.
My wife fell said hi. My wife fell said hi.
And we were green.
Oh, me and my wife are wearing green.
Oh, really?
Let me turn on the camera for you to see me and my wife. 1 minute. Come on. I think my camera acting up because this tablet is old.
You can look at his live stream.
Really?
All right, do you see? That my wife.
Green.
Just like a couple.
We've been married for almost 3 years, man. November 22nd is our 3-year anniversary.
Oh, sleep now.
All right, Val.
Love you. I'm trying to fix the bed.
Love you too, Val.
Snuggle.
Val, don't tickle me!
Yeah.
Oh my God, my wife had so tickling me, man. My wife like tickling me on the neck. Yeah, but.
Oh, that's like hi.
Oh, Val, come on! That my wife right there doing her funniest.
Because she'll mess with me.
But
You're making me clean the room.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Val!
Hey, Liv.
But yeah, my wife is a little goofball sometimes.
I could be goofball. Hey, at least I'm a goofball.
True, but saying it gonna be. Val, come on, let me talk already. Sorry about that, man.
Yes, you love to message your wife. Love you.
Love you too.
Oh my God,
Oh, get that! I'm under my armpit. Oh my God. All right. Oh my God, sorry about that, man. Gee, it took one my armpit right now. All right, you can go to bed. Go to bed. Oh my God! Come on! No, sorry about that, man. That was a tickle on the.
I get that.
Love you guys.
But the Val gonna stop. Oh my God! All right, love you too, Val. Oh. But do you remember one of Dimitri live stream where me and Val did duct tape on the plane? Do you remember that? All right, me and Val did on one of Dimitri live stream. We did duct tape on a plane for a crazy customer.
I may have missed that one. But,
yeah. But everybody started busting out laughing in that live stream, Like, that was funny.
Yeah, it should have been.
But this is what I'm going to bring up. That is a big step. Like, Brightline is breaking ground in Nevada and California. They're about to get their Miami to Orlando done. Heck, if they get the line up and running in the next 3 years in California, to be honest, they're probably going to get that up and running before California high-speed rail.
Yeah, let's be honest. And also Texas Central, too. which is unfortunately still in a state of coma, I should say.
You know what's funny? Just today, the people who were fucking around trying to keep, Texas Central from being built, just approved a third international airport.
The NIMBYs did what? The Texas NIMBY did what?
They did approve for another international airport.
You mean the Texas legislature?
Yep.
Oh my. I mean, don't they just learn that building airports and just, building new highways just won't work,
I know. They're getting paid for the airlines because, let's be honest, if they approved it but screwed over high-speed rail, you know where their priority are.
Yeah. Because let's just remember that, Ben Lehman, the former chairman of the NIMBY group, and I'm pretty sure he retired from a state legislature like a couple of months ago. Used to be nothing but a CEO of an oil company. So.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, if people that play dirty and expose the people, heck, not trying to be crazy, but if Texas Central had played dirty and found out all the things, they would have spread it and explode the opposition. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think, and also, and speaking of Texas Central, what is your opinion on, the other kind of state legislature that are over in Texas, and also the new Texas, and also I should probably call it the acting CEO of Texas Central, the consultant that's in charge of what are your opinions on it?
To be honest, we need to build Texas. We need to build that high speed. To be honest, I think with how Ford is going to do, I think they're going to jumpstart the whole new thing and probably get our state to do it,
Right.
And I need.
Also,
I'm sorry.
Go on.
You can speak.
Oh, thanks. What I am currently hoping for is that hopefully Brightline hopefully they can also kind of have this towards perhaps some like Phoenix or even perhaps Tucson or Albuquerque. So yeah.
But to be honest, what I'll be on about Roadrunner, how that area like thing is, they can improve Roadrunner, and let's be honest, when Roadrunner originally built, it was when they were thinking about paying for more highways, but they got their head out of their ass and said, let's do commuter rail.
Just a moment.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Just a moment.
All right, 1 minute. Don't hang up. I'm just going to wait on him. But it would when, that they, got their heads out of their asses, if y'all know what I mean.
Yeah.
But am I right? It like Albuquerque and all them in Arizona, they got their head out of their asses. Or not,
right.
Not them, New Mexico, I meant. New Mexico got their head out of their ass. Am I right?
Yeah.
Problem is that you still have people who are dead against it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that thing, if we need to expose those people, and we need to expose them people,
Yeah.
And their, propaganda and all that bull crap.
Yeah. Because, going back to Texas, because, those babies are saying, like, oh, this project was nothing but a scam and just a freaking land grab. Well, if it was a land grab, what the hell would they use the land for? Don't you think so?
Exactly. You're right. And the thing is that I'm just going to bring that up at one other problem that, because these people let her pay for a freaking airport and destroy people home with a fucking interstate. They would do all of that, then build a freaking high-speed rail line that would not destroy that many people property. But
yeah, and actually will prevent it because if you remember the high-speed rail hearing, which was back in May of 2021, I'm pretty sure California's high-speed rail project could, I'm pretty sure, be the same as capacity is the same as six highway lanes. I'm pretty sure 93,
Yeah.
90 airport gates and 5 new runways. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that means that it could have the capacity for all of those. So it will actually also prevent more problems from being damaged. So yeah.
I know, and the thing is, and what I'm going to be on it about the real reality is that the people who don't want it built are the big oil company, Greyhound, the airline, car dealership, insurance, mechanic stop. Because let's be honest, if this high-speed rail line was built, all the businesses going from Fort Worth to Dallas would be out of business.
Yeah.
You'd be watching car dealerships just go bankrupt left and right because, let's be honest, no one have to drive anymore or like have an option not to drive. And like big car insurance company along that road, like the big car insurance companies. What people are, doing car insurance because they don't have to buy a car. And let people are, having to fight Greyhound to get a bus ride.
Yeah.
Plus, you don't have that many mechanic shops out there because, let's be honest, less cars on the road, less broken down cars on the road, less in the mechanic shop.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, and also because, the big group for Congressman Dick Olsey used to be the pilot and consultant for Southwest, though.
And let me bring up the other thing. Also, the car dealership, because let's be honest, people would want to buy a car when they have a cheaper and better option. Am I right?
Yeah, they don't have to go through a special, being stuck in traffic, so.
And thing is that the big car company, the insurance, the mechanic shop, they don't like people having options.
Yeah.
And that's something that some people don't realize. Also, I need to bring it up. Have you ever heard of Fed Now?
Can you say it again?
Fed Now.
I did not know. Can you type how it's spelled because I would like to Google it.
Well, Fed Now, it got banned in Florida, Nevada, Nebraska, and probably here in South Carolina next. And the reason why is because it's trying to centralize the banks to control what people are able to buy and what they can pay for.
Really?
Yep, that's what Fed Now is supposed to be. They're trying to make a centralized bank. But in reality, it all to controlling people what they can buy and what they can't.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, no one like having their money controlled. Am I right?
Of course.
So Florida made the right decision and banned Fed Now.
Yeah.
Like Newsom, even though he ran for president, the first thing he did before running president, that actually pretty smart because let's be honest, more people are going to follow him now that he banned this,
Right.
Like, there's some stuff I don't agree with him, but heck, to be honest, there are a ton of stuff that some people that you want to vote for you don't agree on. Am I right?
Right.
But to be honest, if this Fed Now stuff happen, you can walk all the banks that you have bank cards on to get shut down, like Cash App, all that gone.
Right.
And that would be bad. Am I right?
Yeah.
But not that many people are talking about. Even news are not talking about. They're talking about like Trump, Ukraine, and all that.
Yeah.
Kind of funny, ain't it?
Totally.
But yeah, let's get back to high-speed rail and trains because that's a rabbit hole on its own. Am I right?
Yeah.
But to be honest, if this stuff in Texas, like if Texas Central had played dirty and found all the connection and showed it publicly and get it spread all over the news, let's be honest, they would have made the big company who are trying to go after them and the people who are against them, they would have bent them to their knees. with all the stuff that they have. Am I right?
Right.
And people don't realize it. Sometimes you gotta play dirty just to expose people. Am I right about that?
Yeah. Totally. I didn't believe so.
Like, I don't like playing dirty, but sometimes you got to.
Yeah, you just have to sometimes, but yeah.
And that's a real scary thing because, let's be honest, if you don't play dirty with the system, people can fuck around and just screw everything,
Yeah.
Heck, that what Fed now is, and heck, for people who are dead against automobile, they can use it against them and shut them up. The other reason why people in transit community need to be against it,
Yeah.
because it can really screw us head over heel, because we speak out against the big car corporation and airlines. They can use it to set up because you're dead against cars and saying we're not sending you that much money and we're not giving you your money. Am I right?
Yeah.
Heck, China already does this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
And let's be honest, it's scary there, like, let's be honest. If they're trying to implement it into U.S., I'm going to say, oh, hell no,
Yeah.
And saying is that, let's be honest, if they do this, a lot of banks and a lot of corporations that supported this will be burned down to the ground if this happened.
Yeah, and also speaking of China, this is kind of about NIMBYs, but over in Japan, so this is a pretty interesting thing. Am I able to go on?
Yeah, you can go on.
Thanks. Well, we all know the Mangrove project connecting Tokyo and Nagoya, right?
Right.
Yes, well, apparently they too have been struggling for the past 2 years due to NIMBY opposition, notably due to Shizuoka Prefecture Governor Kawakatsu, I'm pretty sure it was, though. And guess who? And guess what? He actually has some connections with China.
Not
the Communist Party.
Well, I'm not surprised at that. Trust me, most of the people who are against rail here in the U.S. and Japan and our country that want it, and the people want it, are mostly, done by China,
Yeah, maybe.
Because we need to think about it. If the U.S. gets high-speed rail, it will reinvigorate our economy, make it where people don't have to live in a city.
Yeah.
It would decimate the car culture and car industry, but it will improve everybody way of living and get them out of that car addiction. I count cars as a drug.
Yeah.
Do you know what my nickname for it is?
What?
Car crack. Get it? Car crack. It's a good one, am I right?
I think so.
And I am coining the phrase right here because I said it on a lot of my live streams, like, car crack! Am I right?
Yeah.
But, and the big corporation, they know it, and hell, big vehicles, they suck. Let's be honest, we don't need any more big-ass truck, big-ass SUV, and big-ass Suburbans,
Yeah, you know what? Come think of it, yeah.
Am I right? Heck, even Nazi Spikes talks about this. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Like, he did a whole video talking about how big trucks are just made to carry people egos. Am I right about that, man?
Totally.
Because most of the people with big vehicles are just snotty a-holes.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And saying it, they think they own the road and everything. Am I right about that? Or not?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And another thing that big car corporation rely on, They rely on this type of addiction.
Really?
Am I right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because let's be honest, you live out in the middle of nowhere and you got to go to work and you don't have any transit. You're forced to drive a car. Heck, most people don't realize it, but a lot of small towns back in the day had a transit system. Heck, some of them even had like commuter buses, and I'm talking about like real small towns. Some of them way back then even had like a streetcar system where they had two, maybe 4 trolleys running on it around the whole town.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that that's how, many of Los Angeles' today's suburbs were actually built on, the rent cars.
Yeah, and saying is it that everybody said, oh, the car killed the trolley. No, it fucking didn't. It did not. There are a lot of people out there who think the car killed the trolley, and that's a fucking lie. Am I right?
Because the truth is, there was nothing with the puppeteer with the mask on, so the car puppeteer, so nothing with sorry about that. There was nothing but the puppeteer with the mask, so.
Mm-hmm. And saying is it that it be the same about GM, Ford, Michelin, Chrysler, Standard Oil, all of them cahooted together to buy up almost not all of them, but almost all of them. Let me just say the inner city railroad. Like interurban railroads.
Right.
Bought almost all of them up, tore them up, and paved over them and replaced them with buses. Heck, in some of the towns that had interurban, like some of these small towns, they just tore them up and said, oh, no buses. Y'all have to drive. Go buy a car and fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, and that's just kind of a representation of how greedy companies kind of can be, You think so?
You're right.
Yeah.
And the real messed up thing. Everybody say the GM Trish car scandal is a myth, a hoax. No, it ain't,
Yeah. The truth is, they were, well, sure, GM was involved, but they were kind of, used to agree with other companies.
And saying is that the only one who really got penalized for it was GM. And saying it, they did not even got all they got was a slap on the wrist,
Really?
Am I right?
Yeah.
And saying is it that we could have had high-speed rail by now. We could have. But no. We lost all of that. We lost our high-speed. We lost our capability. Our only hope is the Northeast Corridor, Florida, and California right now,
Yeah, and hopefully Texas if they recover from the coma.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, the current CEO, the current acting CEO, the consultant is, I don't know, I just don't like him for some reason.
To be honest, I think he was one of the people that the airline got infiltrated in to keep it on the down low. To be honest, the airlines are slimy at getting people into their opposition. Am I right?
Yeah.
Hey.
Don't forget the old cookies too, so, because, we all know what the former chairman used to be, so.
Heck, they tried doing that to Amtrak and it backfired with that guy getting removed, if you remember.
Can you say it again?
You remember when that one person who worked for the airline tried to climb their way to Amtrak and it backfired?
Well, yeah, I kind of remember. I'm pretty sure talking about the former CEO. I don't remember if it was American or Delta, but who became the CEO of Amtrak for a while, right?
Yeah, and now we got someone new. With thank God the one new, he is legendary at rebuilding passenger rail system all across the world from the ground up.
Really?
Yeah, that one literally helped rebuild the New York rail system before he got removed from that one a-hole senator, Then he helped rebuild the British railroad,
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, me neither.
But he going to be running Amtrak now as the president, which hopefully he is the saving grace,
Right.
Now, Amtrak, they do have high-speed rail from Washington, D.C. to Boston. Like, the thing is that they are upgrading the track to go up to 180 to 190 in the line. It did that. Problem is, you got NIMBYs who are going to fight tooth and nail who are working for the airline, even for the car companies.
Wait, what? There NIMBYs in the Northeast?
Yep. There were NIMBY complaining about, the realignment of the Northeast corridor under a tunnel under their town. And they were complaining about that. But, they failed.
Oh, thank goodness.
But, yeah. The other problem is that you got the airline trying to slime their way in. Heck, when the Gateway project was trying to get off the ground, the airline knew it would have been bad for them, but they kept on fucking around,
Right.
Because, let's be honest, the airlines are evil and they're dirty.
Right, especially because, like I said, Bob Crandall, the former CEO of American Airlines, used to be the president of the NIMBY group over in Florida.
And even
Florida.
Demetria did a video talking about it and exposing them. And the thing is that some people don't realize that,
And not only that, but the Florida NIMBY group, I'm pretty sure attorney was even an attorney for GM, so.
That's true. Some of them have worked for the airlines and for GM and for the big car company. Let's be honest.
Right.
They know if the rail start picking up in Florida, it will start picking up in other places,
Yeah.
And one thing they hate the most.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Right.
Like, common sense would tell everybody, hey, the people who are against it are not really for the people. Like, mostly the people who are anti-rail are mostly rich snob a-holes who own businesses,
Right.
And most of them are old people, like in their 70s, 80s, 90s.
Those boomers and Karens over in the those boomers and Karens.
Like, if you remember, the people who were dead against then all aboard Florida live right there along golf courses.
Yeah.
And to be honest, golf courses are where NIMBYs like to congregate. Am I right?
Right.
I just thought of a funny meme. Like how every NIMBY in one town go to their golf course for a fake event, trick them, and have a F-16 with missile coming in, saying all the targets are there, eliminate.
Yeah.
To be honest, we have a lot of NIMBYs here in my home city of Charleston, South Carolina, And I'm talking about a lot of NIMBY. And most of them are rich assholes.
Really?
And most of them, they run businesses in downtown Charleston, but most of them live on the island of Keywa. Keywa, where all the snotbags live, because, what I'm going to be on it about. The snotbags there, they are so rich, they hate poor people.
Really?
And back during the 60s and 70s, they literally, all the way up until the 80s, they got rid of 2 train bridges that connected to the one island called John's Island to make it where there were only 2 ways on and off the island. There were 4 ways off, but they're now only 2. And to be honest, everybody been talking about getting Interstate 526 done, which I do not support. But when you think about it in reality, like, you need to think in reality, and what some people don't realize, like, that they don't want the road being built because, let's be honest.
Right.
When you think about it, when you just think about it in a way, that it can really decimate and screw it up, making it where NIMBYs won't be able to, get. Oof, gotta take my glasses off for a minute. It will make it where NIMBYs will not be able to keep tourists off their island.
Right.
Because they hate it,
Yeah.
They hate, and I mean, they hate the NIMBYs.
Right.
Or not NIMBY, but tour and poor people. But the NIMBYs, let's be honest, that better. But the NIMBYs, I'm going to bring that up. The NIMBYs on Keyloft, they'll be their reason why there will never be a 526 extension.
Yeah.
They are the reason why there's so much development on John's Island. If you go on Google Map and look up the area of John's Island, you would see so much car-infested development. It ain't even freaking funny.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
And
oh my.
Yeah, you're looking it up right now, aren't you?
Yeah, is that suburbia and some
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you did look at it, and this is what I'm going to be on about. If you look at it and look at the two bridges on and off, there are only two ways on and off the island.
Wait, what?
There are only two ways on and off that island.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
And problem is, there have been two other ways. There were two train bridges that went onto that island.
They used to go to the island.
Yep. There used been an old rail line called the Troughton to Savannah line. That was torn fully up in 1982.
Why?
Let's be honest. On it, the NIMBYs on Keyloft, they put a tax in that screwed over every business that was served by rail in that area.
Really?
Yep. They put a bill in saying if you use rail, you were going to get taxed more. Yep. Most people don't know about that. And another thing is, and the other thing I'm going to bring up is that the other thing I'm going to bring up that some people don't know about is that when the line fully went abandoned, a month after the line got shut down, they sent crews in to tear everything up. Not even a month after the line went abandoned, they had people coming out there to tear the line up.
Wow.
You know that was a setup to get rid of the line.
Right.
And even though the line from Hollywood, South Carolina into John's Island, it was gone by 1971, even though that was gone, everybody begged them to keep the bridge there and turn it into a roadway for they can have another way on and off the island. But they did not care. They tore that bridge down to the ground.
Right.
And they said, fuck y'all, we're only going to have you had two ways on and off the island. And the reason why is because they wanted a deterrent to keep tourists and the poor people from coming in,
Damn.
Evil, ain't it? Am I right?
Yeah, I think so.
And worse yet, is that most people don't know about it, is that they are doing the same thing to Interstate 526. I don't support Interstate. Let's be honest, we should not be. But this is the only one that I think should be completed. Because it would give two extra ways on and off that island. But let's be honest, the NIMBYs, they don't want that,
Yeah. Speaking of NIMBYs and highways, another thing was that whenever there are high-speed rail projects in the U.S., it just makes you think: are there any NIMBYs for any highway project in this country? Well, let's just face it.
Nope, there's nobody against highway projects. None of them. You do have a few, but when they speak out, the general public who are car-loving assholes will shut them up in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Like literally, and the thing is that will change eventually once Brightline and all the other high-speed rail because everybody would flip in and say, no more highway. No, none. Am I right?
Yeah.
And it did one more lane, bro, and not going to work, you know?
Yeah. Remember that meme that the YouTube shorts that Al Fisher made, like
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Like it did like a drug when you did think about it.
Right. All those crazy ass commissioners and just never learning the lesson.
And here, Dane, everybody complain about California high-speed rail, but no one wants to complain about freaking Interstate 69, which will destroy more towns, more of the environment than a high-speed line will, you know?
Yeah, because those celebrities claim that the high-speed rail line will just just emission more gas when it's being constructed. Well, guess what? Guess freaking what? The freaking highway will just generate at the same amount or maybe more in the high-speed rail project, and it will even generate more during construction. I mean, after construction during operation. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the people who are dead against it are freaking. They're dumb. They're dumb. You know.
Yeah.
And most of the people who are supporting the anti-rail group or sending money to them are really doing it, because of their own diabolical agenda. Let's just think about it. And also, I'm going to bring it up. Fuck Elon Musk. You want to know why?
Why? Well, never mind. I already hate him for the Hyperloop, and yeah. But I kind of like him for SpaceX, I guess. But I don't know.
But let's be honest. The Hyperloop, he did Hyperloop on purpose as vaporware. You know what vaporware is?
I'm pretty sure those kind of inventions that were already outdated and obsolete from day one. I'm pretty sure. Day one. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah.
Hyperloop will both be a vaporware thing that would make high-speed rail look bad. It will both be thing that would screw over commuter rail and for everybody to buy Teslas.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Elon Musk just thought of the idea of Hyperloop because he just freaking hated California high-speed rail.
No. The other reason why would be because people were starting to get on in the railroading community, and let's be honest, I'm going to bring it up. Me and my wife are both autistic.
Yeah.
And autistic people who love train, you don't ever piss them off, even if you're trying to get rid of them, because you're going to have a riot like no tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also David, sorry to say, but I may have to leave in like 15 minutes because
in 15 minutes?
Yeah, in about 15 minutes, like a good 15 or 20 minutes, because my mom said that I need to have dinner, so.
All right. Will you be back after dinner?
I'm not really sure.
But
yeah.
All right, but I'll be on it. The thing I'll be on it about it that.
Or not. Well, hang on, let me just text my mom for a second.
All right.
Yeah. I just sent the text and alright, she says that I could go on it, so I'm pretty sure I could, go.
Alright.
Continue on.
But here, Jane, I'm going to be on it about Elon Musk even admitted that Hyperloop was meant to make high-speed rail look bad. He wanted it to fail, to screw over high-speed rail in the U.S. before everybody buy electric cars.
Yeah.
That right there is supervillain type of brain,
Yeah.
Like,
I believe so.
Am I right? A supervillain would do that. Heck, if you remember Who Framed Roger Rabbit, if you know who.
I'm pretty sure I have never heard of the episode. I've never watched the movie, but I have seen this scene on YouTube. I have seen this scene somewhere, like, I'm pretty sure Christopher Lloyd's character saying, like, I bought it out. Oh, never mind, go on.
All right. If Who Framed Roger Rabbit came out in the 1990s. And saying is that toward the end of the movie, the villain revealed he bought up all the street cars and he was going to tear them up to force everybody to buy cars and drive.
Yeah, I was actually trying to talk about the scene, but yeah, I thought they were trying to talk about a different scene, so that's why I kind of backed up.
Now, did what Elon Musk wanted to do, but on a bigger scale, but not with streetcar, but with passenger rail. Like, let's be honest. What would you do if you did not have commuter rail or high-speed rail? You would have no choice but to drive or take a plane.
Yeah.
That right there is the super villain move right there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Am I right about that?
Totally.
Because if you did think about it, with Hyperloop, even Dimitri called it out. Like, Dimitri talked about Hyperloop and how bad it was and called it vaporware. Like, have you ever watched Dimitri video called Death with the Hyperloop?
Of course, I seen it for like 2 or 3 times actually.
And he even said it was vaporware in that video.
Really?
Yep. And saying it's that, let's be honest. I just don't like Elon Musk because they said, oh, autistic people. They say, oh, Elon Musk autistic. Do you know how bad it is getting represented by someone who did trying to screw over the railroad community?
Yeah. And also thinks that he is the future, so.
Heck, some autistic people, we don't like him, you know?
Huh.
Like, literally. And by the way, I will bring it up. Fuck Autism Speak. They're a hate group. Fuck them.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But the thing is that some people that don't realize that there are big corporations out there that want to make rail look bad just for everybody to buy into their project, you know?
Right.
And thing is, and what some people don't realize is that if you don't have the options, it can be pretty bad. Like forcing everybody to drive. Heck, one of the reason why we lost the war in Afghanistan, technically, that's the second war we lost in less than 50 years, you know?
Yeah.
Or technically 70 years if you did think about the Vietnam War, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah, I can't think of it.
Everybody think we won that war? No, we didn't. We lost that war.
Yeah.
And we did here. And funny thing is that we did want to build all the roads to improve, Jane. Let me just say this. If they had built a rail system there in Afghanistan, like they did before, because there were a whole rail system in Afghanistan back in the day. If they had did that country would have probably not collapsed.
Right. Hang on for a second.
Right. He'll be right back. I'm going to drink.
David, never mind. I may have to leave room in a few minutes.
All right.
My turn says that I need to go now. Go now. So yeah, sorry.
Will you be back afterwards?
Hopefully, I think. But yeah, I may have some plans. So yeah.
But all right. Well, I'll message you in 20 minutes and just let me know in 20 minutes.
Okay.
Later, man.
Later.
All right, that was our friend from Tokyo, but this is what I'll be on about. We literally destroyed our rail system, and when I was talking about Afghanistan, this is what I'll be on it about. We literally destroyed everything for the car. And that pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. We literally destroyed everything. Heck, let me check if Brightline is online. Because we have not had him in a while. But yeah. But there are people out there who are trying to go out their rail. Oh, let the dogs out. Y'all went outside? Yep. Buddy, come on. Alright. I'll get Buddy in a few minutes, but to be honest, some people that don't realize how much rail infrastructure we really lost. Like, literally. It's really that bad when you did think about it. Let's see if Gord on the line. But, yeah. Whole rabbit hole, and that I'll be on about. But, yeah. Hey, Gord, you doing good, bud?
Yeah. I fell asleep.
Oh, sorry. Hey, have you seen... I need to ask. Have you seen the photo of the Southern Railway Heritage Unit?
No, I have not.
Dude, you remember back almost 2 years ago when it had a nasty derailment where I got hit? Dude, you need to look up the photos right now.
All right. Have you seen the Amtrak Harry Potter ones?
Oh yeah, I've seen the photos. I've seen the photos. But
yeah, I want to get down there.
But you're going to be excited about the Southern Railway Heritage Unit. He is back.
It's $80.99, right?
Yes.
I'm almost level 300 on Training Sim Worlds.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're going to be excited about it, man, but he is back, and he is fully rebuilt, and the paint looked new on him.
Nice. Where's the paint? I'm looking at real photos. Hold on.
Yeah.
Page 26. Scroll all the way down.
Like, ain't it crazy?
Is it $80.99?
Yep, he is back. He is back, man. Like, literally, there are new photos from the Altoona workshop of him, and he looks sharp.
I can't find them. You sent them to me?
Oh, I can actually show you on video call. 1 minute.
All right.
But Diva did took it only a couple of days ago.
Cool.
Look at that.
That's nice. I have CSX running by me. I wish they'd do like a chassis unit or something.
And hopefully one day with what CXX starting to do, hopefully they do. But look at that. Finally back. He looked brand new. It looked like he have not gotten destroyed at all. Like, I can actually say, Jay, rise up like a phoenix. Am I right?
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy? Like, 8099 going back into service soon, you know? They're saying that he should be back on the main line this week.
All right.
So that's going to be awesome. Oh, speaking of that brightline might be starting their Miami to Orlando up up to this month.
Hopefully, yeah. I saw they've been doing a bit more testing.
They'll probably have it up before have train running from Miami to Orlando this month fully.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be this month that the full passenger service from Miami to Orlando starts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, I have talked to a friend who did quit working at the airline line up there in Miami, and he said the airlines, the short haul one from Miami and to Orlando, are panicking. Like, literally, they're freaking out,
Yeah, as long as Brightline maintains their cheaper prices, everything should go well.
I know, and they are. Their price from Miami to Orlando is about $75. That's not bad,
Oh.
That's cheaper than the airline with $150 to $200. Am I right?
Well, depends where you're sitting on the flight. You can book row 36 and get that dirt cheap, but it's not going to be a great flight, and you're going to be last to board and last to get off.
I know, and funny thing is, and this is what I'll be on about it, that Brightline is very nice, and $75 for their high end, 45 to 50 is for their standard.
Okay.
So the airlines don't have nothing on Brightline right now, and that's the really crappy thing. Also, get what starting to break ground this month too.
West.
Yep, you heard about that?
I'm hoping they get it finished on time and then they can help out with California high-speed rail.
To be honest, I think Brightline West is probably going to get done less than 3 years because let's be honest. Going through the...
I'd say 5. If I'm being completely conservative here, I'd say 5 years.
True, but to be honest, I think they're probably going to have a good jump start, and, let's be honest.
I'm hoping it doesn't fall apart like Texas Central did.
Now, Dane is different than Texas Central because it got backing from a bigger company.
Yeah.
Different between Texas and Brightline is that Texas did a startup.
Texas had everyone going against them.
Brightline have everybody going for them.
Yeah, mostly.
Now, I think when Brightline and Florida start, having their train running back and forth, and in California, people are going to see that and say, "I want it in my state." Like,
it'll only work in a few states.
To be honest, I think
you're not going to have a high-speed line in Montana. It's just not. There's no point.
No, but you would have like an S-Bahn type system. You know what an S-Bahn type system?
For cities, it really wouldn't help. I know an S-Bahn is pretty educated on German roads. It wouldn't have that much of like an effect on it's just the population is so sprawled out that rail transportation really will never work there.
I know, but it would work in two of the cities, and connect them.
I feel like, yeah, but there's such small cities, it'd be more useful to have like a tram system or like a streetcar system.
I know, but it's pretty interesting when you did think about it. Now, there are a lot of cities here in the South that high-speed rail could work with,
Well, yeah, they should make an Eastern Seaboard high-speed rail system. It's so densely populated, connect all the major cities along the Eastern Seaboard.
I know, like, here one...
Northeast corridor, so all really...
Like, here one thing they're actually talking about. They're actually talking about doing high-speed rail from Savannah to Atlanta.
It's not long enough for an actual high-speed rail. I feel like just normal regional rail 100 to 125 would work just fine for that.
Actually, it would, because let's be honest, that area is in the weak spot or the golden spot for high-speed rail. Atlanta to Savannah is over 250 miles apart.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, because of that, if you had just an average speed of 100 miles an hour, you'd be fine. So as long as the whole route was 110, 125, you'd be fine for that. You wouldn't need to build a 186 to 200 mile an hour system.
But here, Jane, it would be even more beneficial and crazy is that area is too long to drive but too short to fly. You know what I mean?
People like driving. I like driving. I don't mind it. But some people just don't want to drive, and I respect that. So
I know, and plus you also got to think about the people who are physically and mentally disabled who are unable to drive because that right there, it did a total kick to them, you know?
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. The interstate that connect them to city is very dangerous.
I've never driven down there. I can tell you. You're telling me.
I know from a friend who nearly got clobbered by a jackknife and semi-truck on the road headed from Atlanta to Savannah. And I mean literally nearly got clobbered. He said that if there were a train from Atlanta to Savannah, he would take it in a heartbeat. He would not be driving that route.
Just can't believe there isn't, but I'm hoping that if they bring back the Gulf Coast, whatever the hell, that it will connect to Atlanta at some point.
And here, Jane, it Interstate 20.
Yeah, I'm just hoping for the day the sunset comes back.
Or not Interstate 20, Interstate 16.
Miami to, what?
It was Interstate 16, not Interstate 20. My bad. I'm looking at a different road sign.
Like the newer
GTCs. But here another chain that would be a big one: Atlanta to Charlotte. That would be a good corridor for high-speed rail. And the reason why, because you got Atlanta, Greenville, Spartanburg, with our two South Carolina cities. And then you got Charlotte, with the biggest city, one of the biggest city in the South. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Charlotte got commuter rail. They got streetcars. And I've been there. I've seen it all, you know? And funny thing is, the new passenger train team that they built in Charlotte, they built it in the future in mind because they have some track that they already built into in case high-speed rail do come to Charlotte. They already have stuff built in for if that ever happens, you know?
Oh, I think in that section, we just need to focus on more frequent commuter rail before we start making any moves on high-speed rail. Like just upgrading current lines.
I know. Now,
so much cheaper land acquisitions, and it would be more like it would be a lot less operating costs.
Now, problem is that the line from Charlotte to Atlanta is owned by Norfolk Southern, and we know how they are with Amtrak.
Well, yeah, because Amtrak is run by the government, and private companies don't really want to deal with the government. I bet if you had a privately funded organization in there that had good relationship with NS, it would go over perfectly smooth.
True. Saying is it that
that's why the brightline works so well, because nothing's government involved with that for operating. It's just FEC owns the track, Brightline runs on it. Brightline's respectful of whatever. They don't make a case about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a good operating agreement. I mean, all of these are run by the same company, which I guess NS could start their own passenger if they want to.
I know. You know, rumors are talking about that CPKC app. We talking about doing that?
Well, they're really friendly with Amtrak, so I don't see why they would do that. I could see them like helping Amtrak out with
they're talking about doing it down in Mexico, all places.
Oh, I'm pretty sure some AM fleets are being sold to Mexico. I could be wrong.
Well,
by a third party, who bought them for shoreline operations. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me.
Well, the reason why is because I spotted an article on another Discord server, the tournament broadcast server, talking about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're buying small bud cars for that service. I'm it's just speculation.
To be honest, with now that KCCP happened, we're probably going to see a lot more Amtrak routes. Let's be honest. We're going to be seeing a whole new Amtrak connected plan map probably before the end of the year.
Well, Well, I don't want Amtrak to get too ambitious. I want them to follow through on their promises.
I know. Hey, well, they already went through with some of their projects. Am I right?
Well, the only thing that's been done so far was the extension of the Ethan Allen and more frequent service on some lines.
Now, the other thing that Amtrak don't realize that they would have if they did like the Atlanta thing, they would have a night corridor from Atlanta to Charlotte. Because that right there, it got a lot of capability. You know what I mean?
Well, I just think they need to focus on some general issues they have already, like dining car service for like guest satisfaction. I'm pretty sure the Night Owl still does not have a sleeper, which is stupid because it's literally it starts going in the evening and it ends in the morning.
I know.
Like just basic stuff like that they need to focus on.
You know the other thing that I have noted, and what I'm going to bring up, is that Amtrak actually working on finally getting their new locomotive fixed. Like they're already fixing some of the teething issues with their train sets.
Well, yeah, and I don't think they should have bought everything from Siemens. I mean, they bought the new Accelas from Alstom, but I think they should have went with Alstom for more stuff. They shouldn't have ordered like everything from Siemens because they don't have the ability to keep up with the manufacturing.
I know. Well, Siemens have fixed one of the problems with the new, or not the new, but the intercity locomotive. I can't remember what they're called again.
SC44s,
Yeah,
ALC42s.
the one that came out about 6 years ago. They finally fixed the teething issues with them.
Yeah, the SC44s, which have the same just general structure as the rest of the charters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you see the Ripper Runner started running at 110 instead of like 60?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was neat. Travel times between St. Louis and Kansas City are a lot shorter now.
I know. Now, that's another area that the airlines are freaking out about, you know?
Because that's actual like world class regional rail now, fast trains.
I know, and it only a matter of time before Amtrak say, "Hey, let's turn that into a high speed rail." You know.
Well, no, again, I don't think it's enough distance for high speed rail. Plus, they make a few stops at some smaller cities. So again, like high speed rail really only works between like two very, very, very populated cities.
The thing is, St. Louis is a very heavily populated city, and Chicago.
Chicago, for example.
Like St. Louis to Chicago is very heavily populated, and the thing is that they're 300 miles apart.
You're running at 110 almost the whole time. The trip's on 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
You know, funny thing is that right on the same amount of time with the airplane.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same exact amount of time. Now, Amtrak needs to get with the program with the prices, but besides that, it's good.
Now, here, kicker. If Amtrak can get it up to 150 in that area, they'll be way quicker than the airlines.
There's no point. It's only a 40-mile-an-hour increase. It's a very marginal difference between speeding up and stopping at different locations. Again, we need to figure out regional rail before we even start imagining high-speed rail. Now, again, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, two very, very, very populated cities. That makes sense for actual high-speed rail. Plus, they're only making it single track, so you need trains to get out of
they're not making this. It's single track. They're not making it single track. It's going to be double track. It's going to be double track all the way.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right.
Because with it being high-speed rail, they cannot do single track. Because if you do single track, you're going to have a lot of head-on collisions.
And a lot of head-on collisions. You just need to make a lot of sidings.
But here, kicker, a lot of sidings would be way too costly, you know?
Yeah, well, back to the high-speed rail thing, making 150. With track regulations, anything over 125 miles an hour, you have zero grade crossings.
I know.
Which will be insanely hard because on that section between St. Louis and Kansas City, there's a lot of grade crossings.
Yeah, and thing is that I looked at that area, and thing is that they can actually improve by getting rid of all of them. Heck, most of them.
Well, you can't get rid of all of them because then people can't drive anywhere.
I'm saying you could do overpasses and underpasses, you know?
But that's so insanely expensive compared to, what benefit would come of a 40 to 50 mile an hour increase in speed limits.
But to be honest, with regional rail, there are a lot of cities that can work with regional rail. Heck, my home city right here, Charleston, South Carolina, can work with regional rail, you know?
Yeah, again, we need to do that before we do anything high speed.
Like
actual high speed.
In here, Gene, a city with a population of 50,000 is good for a bus system. A city with a population of 100,000 is good for a commuter rail or streetcar system. A population of 200,000 is good for like a commuter rail system, and a population above 300,000 is good for inner city rail.
Yeah, but I'd say 5 million at least for a world-class high-speed rail system. I'm talking 220 miles an hour.
You don't need 5 million. You don't.
Yeah, but what
2
cities
million
in the world are only the line is only connecting cities under the population of 4 or 5 million?
It would be 2 million. Like there are a lot of cities in Europe that are connected with high-speed rail that have population of 100 million, or not 100 million, 1 million to 2 million. That do pretty well.
Yeah, but if you either run the system, you're going to run into a really big city that has a population over 3 or 4 million.
Mm-hmm.
So they can be connected, but they have to be between larger cities.
Mm-hmm.
For them to connect, because you have the main population flow up from those cities.
Well, there are a lot of cities in the South that would be good for commuter rail, inner city rail.
Yeah, commuter and inner city rail should be used more.
Mm-hmm.
It's my problem is just overspending on a system that will never turn a profit. You can make a really good regional rail system that's going to make a profit, but you're going to need a lot of people taking a high-speed rail system for it to make a profit.
That's true, but thing is that we want to give people options. We don't want to force them to buy a car,
Well, yeah, I know that's giving people options, but the government isn't very good at realizing that. The government just, does things the way they want. Usually, it's not the right way.
And
that's why private companies are really good for this type of stuff. And government backing helps them, but as long as they're making decisions, it's good.
But also, you got to think about the big greedy corporations, because let's be honest, when you have
necessarily greedy, if they're providing you with another option, I feel like that's good.
I know, I'm talking about big car corporation. Let's be honest, if you had very cheap and reliable commuter rail that are in your area that could get you from point A to point B, where on time, where you don't actually have to drive a car and it's much more relaxing, people are going to take that more than a car.
Yeah.
And Dane,
I've been driving lately, and anytime I'm traveling, I'm like, oh, I wish I could be on a train right now. I don't deal with the traffic.
And
so yeah, definitely in a city.
But here kicker for people who don't want a car and want to save more money, don't have to deal with car insurance and all that maintenance and stuff. Happen Transit would be much easier for them. And Jane, is that the big car company, the car insurance, the oil company, the mechanic shop, and all of them noticed it, and they are scared of it, because let's be honest, if you have a reliable commuter rail system, you're going to let a lot of mechanic shops go out of business. You're going to let a lot of insurance companies.
Shops are small businesses.
Yeah, and also dealerships. You're going to let a lot of them go out of business, because let's be honest, not that many people are going to buy cars.
Yeah, it's true. But people who have cars keep going back for repairs and whatnot.
Exactly. But Jane, is it that not that many people are buying cars, and not that many people are wrecking cars or breaking down on the road as often and normal, Well,
yeah, I feel like it's a win-win for both sides. People want to drive their car. There's less people on the road,
but
so they can enjoy whatever. And then for people on the train, they don't have to deal with traffic.
I know, but it'll be a lose for the big corporate and a mechanic shop, because less customer coming in mean less money for them.
Customers coming in, but that's still a lot of people. Not everyone's going to switch to public transit, because let's say the train doesn't go from point A to point B. You still need a car.
I know, but thing is that we really built our country on trains and on walkability, bikeability, and transit. We tore that down. We tore it down and paved over it for the car. And now look where it got us. We are in a bad situation because we want to build everything for the car. Like, parking lots are so wasteful in space. Like, literally, we built.
Yeah, the zoning laws, you can't build a building unless it has ample amount of parking space. I find that very stupid.
And thing is, you can't build multi-unit development. Like, you got to build one or the other. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. You got to build one or the other. Like, you can't build a apartment with a business at the bottom. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been able to build that, but that changed in the 1960s, between the 50s and 60s, when that law changed. And reason why it's kind of dirty and evil is to force people to drive more. That's the original reason why. Like, to be honest, what I'll be honest about, we lost our rail infrastructure system, or technically, we lost a lot of our infrastructure system because we let it see, a shiny car, instead of what we really need to look for, you know? We think the car all be an all, you know? Or like, the in all, if you know what I mean, but... And don't get me started on flying car, because good God, flying cars are awful.
Well, they'll never work.
Exactly. Imagine.
I don't think we need to invent all the stupid shit to solve a simple solution.
Exactly. Imagine if we have flying car, we would have mini 911s almost every day of the week. Like, breaking news: suicide bomber crashed flying car into a skyscraper, killing millions. You know? Am I right?
I guess, I don't know.
And then, the thing about people who are drunk driving, next thing you know, you have two cars crashing in midair, and next thing you know, you look up and you get crushed alive by a fallen car. You know? The reality is that flying cars are not practical at all.
Can we get to flying cars again?
But am I right?
Yes. I don't know. It wasn't relevant to the conversation. It works though.
Mm-hmm. Even Dimitri and me talked about it. You remember his live stream?
I haven't watched this stream in so long.
I know it's been 2 months.
No, I mean I haven't watched one of his streams in like 2 years.
I know, but it's been 2 months since
it. Interesting, and then he's coming up with like stupid conspiracy theories. It's like, okay, I don't really feel like watching this.
Well, Dimitri, it's been 2 months since he did a live stream, and I need to check up on him, you know? But he did brought up a good point when, Palestine happened, about how, the government could have stopped it if they allowed the railroad strike to happen, you know?
Well, yeah, but that would have been catastrophic for our economy. Much worse than a train crash into Palestine. I mean, we would have been losing billions.
I know, but Jane, is it that the
now that we might default, shit, it's getting scary.
I know. Have you heard of that thing called Fed Now?
What?
Have you ever heard of Fed Now?
No, I've not.
All right.
Speed limit's 105. Okay, so
all right, I'm going to bring it up. Did my crap your pants? And Fed Now is
that's not good.
Fed Now is a centralized banking system, run by the government.
Mm.
And get what they're trying to implement.
What are they trying to do?
They're trying to implement a, centralized banking system run by the government here in the U.S. called Fed Now.
Not good.
That not good. Love you, Val. Wife is going to sleep. But Did what I'm going to be on about Florida. If you've been listening, Florida made the right decision to ban it. Nebraska bans it. Heck, even South Dakota is banning it. You know.
Those are all really red states, and I agree with them on that.
And Jane is that South Carolina on that path of banning it too now too.
Yeah, South Carolina's pretty red.
To be honest, even though I'm not Democrat or Republican, did it the right decision because let's be honest, did what China does, you know?
What?
You know, they got a centralized banking system.
Oh wait, they're voting to implement it or not?
They're talking about it. We're not sure yet.
Yeah, but Florida voted to implement or not implement?
Not implement. They're banning it.
Yeah, I agree. That would be like a bunch of smaller banks, like smaller companies that make money.
Yeah, and Jane is that it will make, you know, cash money illegal. It will make Cash App, PayPal, all that illegal.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then that would be the government way of controlling what you can buy and what you can't.
Yeah, no, it's
and worse yet, if you're dead again.
That's why I support privately run organizations over the government run
organizations. And here, Francine, if you're dead against what the government doing, they can screw your head over heel by saying, "Oh, no money, you can't use your money."
Yeah.
They can literally screw you over your bills for you to stay in one area, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the real terrifying thing of it. And oh, by the way, wait, you know the ban that they were going to try to do on TikTok with that new bill? It backfired.
What happened?
Do you know that bill that was both to ban TikTok?
Yeah, I heard that part. You cut out after that.
It backfired.
So what happened?
People realized what the bill was really going to do, and they shit their pants saying, "Oh hell no!"
What was the bill for?
It was going to make VPN illegal. It was going to, you know, take away everybody's privacy online.
Yeah.
And control everything. Let's be honest, the government is trying to do all the dirty shit.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are waking up and calling it out.
Yeah.
But Jane is it that they're trying to use TikTok as an excuse to bring this bill in, you know?
Yeah.
But funny thing is, this bill would, violate our privacy, would violate our freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Fed Now, you know, like you already know what I've talked about with Fed Now.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad. And Jane is that Florida made the right decision and banned it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That was right decision. And plus, a lot of our people are, you know, chopping that bill that would ban TikTok in other states because they're realizing what it really is.
Yeah.
Jane, it did the government excuse to try to control everybody, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And here, funny thing, Jane, if you're going to, you know, do Fed Now and ban everybody from banking, you're going to let a lot of banks go up in flame and a lot of government buildings go up in flames. You'll have people in so many cities rioting, not even martial law going to work. You're going to call a full-blown civil war. Am I right? And probably the toppling of the government. And Jane is that one of the worst things you could do because one, you technically put your fate in hand because you want to control people and what they can do and what they can't. Am I right?
Yeah.
And that pretty bad in itself. Heck, India is doing it, and a lot of people are rioting over there. They've been doing that for the last couple of years. There's been guerrilla warfare there, and they don't talk about that. Heck, China, it's worse with theirs. Let's be honest, if you're automatically thinking about going to get governed, you're going to disappear.
Yeah, I could choose I would not want to live in China if I had to
Me either, man.
It's just the system, credit system's so messed up that you have basically zero human rights.
Exactly, and they're the real scary thing. Like, the people who came up with it are from China.
Yeah, no, it's just the higher up people, the billionaires, the government that control like the billion people that live there.
And same with the ban on TikTok bill. It's going to backfire anyway. A lot of people are saying no to it.
Yeah.
Like the bill about the ban, VPN, and it both to make it stricter. Like, what are we trying to go out there and make it where you can't even do stuff on the internet? And the thing is that if we remember the Patriot Act, you remember that bill?
No, no.
All right. The Patriot Act came out after September 11th, and it gave the NSA and government agency excuse to spy on people for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, it violated so many privacy laws. And here, saying the government think they're so big, but keep on pushing buttons, and it won't be bad news. Am I right?
Yep.
Because people are going to get fed up and say enough is enough. Am I right about that?
I agree.
Because have anybody ever realized? I guess not,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm already seeing some big stuff happening where people who are bringing up the ideas are probably going to get, either thrown in jail or, get called out for what it really is. Am I right?
Right.
And the TikTok bill, what it called, it's pretty bad. Like, it's pretty bad. That I'm not going to lie about. And it's going to backfire. That I'm not going to lie about. But am I right? But, yeah. Oh, brother.
Tired.
I know.
I was only level 300 on Training Sim World. I'm
Oh,
level
well.
299.
Dude, I did thought about another cool train route that they could have done, and it actually in Texas.
TRE?
You know that commuter rail line, or technically a park
Yeah.
commuter, but it also got a short line railroad on it? You know that commuter rail line that uses German-built locomotives?
Yeah, it's Trinity Rail Express, right? Dallas Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know the freight railroad that they have running on it too.
No, I don't.
Or technically not Trinity Rail, it's something else. It uses the red S-Bahn locomotives. I can't remember what they called.
I knew TRE got Stadlers.
Yeah, I'm talking. It wanted them, but it is short. It's a commuter rail that run on a short line railroad in Texas, but it's pretty cool. Because
You know something cool I found about Texas one time? Look up Galveston, Houston interurban.
oh, I know about that. I actually mapped out the old area where you to go to. It's cool.
Yeah, no, because I went to Galveston and I heard about that, and I'm like, why is that not there anymore? That sounds awesome.
Well, what happened is around 2001, 2002, the line got torn up. It was the second to last interurban railroad in the United States that remained. And it lasted up into 2002 before it got ripped up.
Yeah, that's so sad. That looks like such a cool line. Yeah, because I drove up. Well, my dad drove. I couldn't drive to tell you. All the way from Houston to Galveston. It's such a long drive.
I know. Now there is one more interurban railroad that is still left, and it in Iowa. Do you know what it's called?
No, is it the one that they have like some weird freight engines that use like trolley wire?
Yeah, it's called the Iowa Traction Company.
Yeah, that's mostly good.
It's pretty cool, I'm not going to lie about that.
I don't know if it's one of the big U.S. railways, maybe even if it's FEC, that would be cool. They just electrified.
And, I did thought about the Iowa Traction Company. That would be a cute little, or definitely a cute and nice line, relaxing line to run in Train Sim World, you know?
Yeah.
It would be nice.
Well, they don't go very fast. So
I know.
be impatient.
I know, but it would be.
Arguing with someone on the forums the other day, and they're like, "Oh, I don't like the routes. I like the trains take like a mile to stop." And I'm like, "Okay, so you don't like trains? You like driving subways?"
People.
And they got an argument, and I'm like, "The point of the train is like it doesn't stop instantly. Like they like EMPs, I guess. I don't know."
I know they're the.
That was really stupid.
To be honest, they're idiots and morons, you know. But here, Jane, like, why not we have like more relaxing lines that you do more than to stop, go, stop, go. You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like the high speed lines, like the German ones, I could just set that in like the AFB and put the LZB on.
I know. I'm talking about like the ones where you did stop and go on the same line instead of like switching stuff out, dropping stuff off.
Oh yeah, Oaksville is good for that.
Like the Oakville sub.
There's a German route. Let me remember. There's one German route that does that uses electrics.
I am going to bring it up again. They done the Oakville sub dirty. Like no doubt.
I think someone from Dovetail was talking about putting Go Trans on there.
Like bring Go Transit to it via rail. Heck, they even got freaking FD70 Max on that line. Like bring in some of the big locomotives too.
They have Amtrak on that line.
Like. Bring that stuff in. Am I right?
So, yeah, a route that I really want them to do is something Empire Service related, whether it's south of Poughkeepsie with like Metro North and whatever, or if it's, I would prefer the most like northern New York, so north of Poughkeepsie, maybe to like Schenectady or something, because that's all higher speed running. It's 4 stops and it's a pretty beautiful route.
Mm-hmm.
Between Schenectady to Albany, it's urban sprawl, and then south of Albany, it's just all along the river. It's beautiful.
I'm not gonna lie, that would be cool. Now the line coming from New York, one with the CXX side and the Amtrak side.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. CSX on the other side. Although CSX isn't that interesting, it's mostly single track, and it's just in the middle of the woods.
I know, but
on the highway a little bit.
I know, but the thing about it, have both routes, that would be a unique having freight on one side and passenger on the other. It would give.
Well, yeah, I would. There's one freight service at night on the Amtrak side. I think it's still Q704. It does garbage runs down to the city. What was I going to say? God damn it! I forgot what I was going to say.
But
the other side. The most recent German route to come out has a similar type thing, although they just did not make the other side.
But yeah, but I'll be on it with the Iowa Traction Company. Like that would be a night one for Train Sim World. Like something a little different because it's so unique for an American route. Think about it.
Yeah, I agree.
That would be something so unique. Even though
I feel like you probably would add it if it just had more frequent service, because they want people playing the game, so they're not going to add in a route that gets like 2 services a day.
I know, but
it would be cool, I agree.
It would be so unique because
I wish they had a route creator, and so like someone could do that on their free time.
I know, with Saber Interactive owning the rights to the game now, that could be a big chance right there. Because let's be honest. Saber Interactive would probably let that happen, Because if you know what SnowRunner is.
Yeah, they're owned by the same company.
Yeah. And you know how they allow people to mod in SnowRunner and like build maps, make vehicles.
Well, you did the same thing in Train Sim Classic. I love a map maker, and that was pretty bad.
I know, but the thing about it with Train Sim World, it might be their opportunity to have it too, and it might make it even bigger for Train Sim World.
Sorry, I'm dying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
why is I'm turning access off? I'm not doing 30 miles an hour for like 8 miles.
But am I right? Like it would be pretty good. Now,
Sorry.
now the.
All right, there we go. Okay, penalty break, whatever, I don't care. ATC off, access off.
But let me be honest about the like. It would be good if Saber Interactive decide to let the train community like on Xbox, PC, PlayStation have a build mode. Like let them have the build mode. Like that would be big. Heck, they could probably fix some of the mess up in some of the line, like the the updated new Northeast corridor route.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the update to come out. I think they might be adding view liners next update in ALP 45s.
Yeah, to be honest, one thing that they need to fix is Union Station.
What do you mean Union Station?
Like right how you get into New York on that route.
Oh yeah, the access is terrible. Well, no, that's just the signaling system.
Not
Maybe they need to fix it.
Not that the train clipped into the platforms.
Oh yeah, they clip in the pillars. The catenary goes through a bridge in Newark. They really need to pay more attention to detail.
I think with all the backlash that they have, I think they're probably going to have to.
Yeah, I'm playing there right now. I don't have a problem with it. It's just little stuff like that pisses me off. But no, my biggest pet peeve is the signaling system because it will have me doing 45 and a 90 and no one's in front of me.
I know, but
it just had me doing 30 and a 135. Well, my train's limited to 125, but you get the idea.
I know, but team is it that they could improve it. Heck, with the Long Island side, they could have added that in too.
Yeah, that would have been interesting if they made it one route. I would have liked Long Island AI trains too. That would have been a nice addition.
Like that would be like hell. Add that Long Island route because you have 3 train routes that use the same area. Am I right?
Well, technically 3.
But am I right about that?
Yeah, only 2 currently because it would be the third one was the OG NEC.
A lot of people think the OG was better.
No, there was more attention to detail, but that's not saying much considering a route was like less than a third of a length.
True, but like if they add the old one in too, like that would make a bigger route.
No, the only difference is it doesn't include the New Rochelle and the Hell's Gate Bridge, which I did like that feature.
And actually, the OG actually starts up with another route, in train.
Yeah, it had CSX service.
Not just that, if you remember the other Long Island line that they added, or not the other line that connected with the tunnels.
Yeah, no, the Harlem line, it doesn't connect to that. So the New Rochelle, that's the New Haven line. There's a connector between that and the Harlem line, so it can go to Grand Central. That was never in the game.
I know, but that would have been sweet. Like that would have been 4 lines actually. That would have.
Yeah, I get it.
That would have made that one of the biggest train routes in Train Sim World.
By mileage, that would definitely be the biggest route in Train Simulator.
But it will also make it so much opportunity, like so much variety.
Well, the problem is processing on like computers and stuff. That would be terrible if you're on like a first gen console.
I know. To be honest, I think once the next gen come out, I think they're going to come out with Train Sim World 4.
I'm hoping they release like Brightline with that or something for the American route.
And more likely, with its popularity and how everything is, they're probably going to add Brightline into for the East Coast, with its unique locomotives and stuff.
Yeah, well, they're not exactly unique. The ES44C4 is already in the game. They just add the tanker thing in the middle.
I know, but what they run on make them special.
Yeah, Ferromex has it too.
I know, but it would be interesting with like an inner city with freight running too.
Yeah, I really want either the Metro Racetrack or Brightline. Those are my 2 high priority.
Now,
because this route, the NEC New York trend was I really wanted that to get added.
Now,
it did.
Now, the Metro racetrack route, that it being SF and Metro. So,
Yeah, which BNSF is already in the game. Okay, I'm just gonna get tomorrow. I'm really tired.
but they also, you got to go, man?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to bed. I didn't get good sleep last night.
All right. But before you go, what did talk about did? They're going to add more locomotive if they do that. Like,
I can still talk. I'm just gonna lay in bed.
I know, but let me be honest. Like, they would add some at the SW 15,000, the MP 15s.
MP15's in the game with Caltrain. It's a DLC.
I know, Joe. They're probably going to reskin Dope or the Burls in the
I
North
wish-
or
I wish they
BNSF.
added the SW1 back from the original Train Simulator because I bought that DLC.
I know. More than likely, they might because of how everything is. Because
Amtrak only has the one, so
I know, but also Amtrak run on that route too, so it might be a
Well,
way
yeah,
to
that-
bring.
well, yeah, they need to add all new equipment, which I really want them to add the Genesis.
Well, a buddy of mine who talked to one of the people who worked there, for them, it talking about that they might be doing a route that evolved the Genesis. Don't know.
I'm really hoping it's the Hudson Line because that is probably one of the most beautiful routes in North America.
I know, but I don't know if it's true now. They could be probably talking about a, line up in the mountains, like near Vermont.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out which one that would be because they would want high frequency on it, and the one of the route Genesis has extremely high frequencies is the Empire service. It has the dual modes, which are unique. That would be a first to
Mm-hmm.
train sim. Well, no, I lied, but that would be the first diesel electric dual mode.
I know, and thing is that would be easy to repaint and use on normal services, too.
What do you mean?
Like on
Well,
Horseshoe.
The P32s have longer and different vent sizes and all, but a few other things than the normal P42s. But they could reskin it for Harlem Light and just add comments to the game.
I know, and what I'm interested in because it probably is an Amtrak route, but also shared by CXX or Norfolk Southern.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you can say what you were going to say.
I just want something in New York that would make me happy. Well, there's already like 4 rats in New York, but like one up north, not just the city area.
I know. Now, one of the more interesting area that I am thinking about is hold on, 1 minute. I gotta let the dogs in.
You're good.
Be right back. I'm
Insert move. All right.
inside. Good dog. Stupid door won't lock. There we go. Got it. All right, I'm back, man. Sorry about that. I had to let the dogs in. But, yeah, now, there is a ton of other stuff that I am thinking about that would work. But there is...
Yeah, just for it to work, it just needs to be something high frequency, like a lot of service on one line.
Mm-hmm. Now, but let me get back to the Texas line that I would think about. The line in Texas that I would think about have an S-Bahn train system, but it's set up in a way where it also share a line with not a regional, but a short line railroad.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool in itself.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be interesting having a short line railroad and also a regional. You know what I mean? So, yeah. That would have been something nice and also adds more variety to the American routes. Because let's be honest, either we get up in a freight only or something that passenger only. But we don't get that many with both,
Mm-hmm.
Heck, the thing with the Cajon Pass, like, let's be honest, the Cajon Pass is good. Like, no doubt about it, that's a pretty good route.
Yeah.
The thing that they kind of screwed over when, not have an Amtrak go over it, you know?
Yeah, no, I rode that spring break last year. That was such a cool ride to ride over. We're doing like 90 up the hill. It was awesome.
I know, and saying is that it should be good. Like, they should add Amtrak. Aren't we kind of think of it? That might be the route that they're talking about adding it to, you know?
Possible.
Because of that, and also because of the interesting thing. Also, if someone, reskin the, Caltrans thing, they can run those at the end of where, the Cone Path terminates in Los Angeles, you know?
Oh, I lied. It does 90 after Barstow.
But
that would be neat if they extended it somewhere. Just hold on. Let me check Amtrak stops. Yeah, it's possible. I'm just like again. There's so many routes in the game they could add Amtrak to.
like,
They just
not to that, there are so many American routes, so many American railroads that they could add that they got so much potential in the American routes. Like,
yeah.
heck, there's one route that I think they would probably never do because of how big it is, and it's the farthest north in the United States. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
The Alaska Railroad.
Yeah, again though, that one just doesn't have a good amount of frequency. I went on the Alaska Railroad. That was really nice to go on. Just the frequency's not very high.
I know, but it do got a high freight frequency. Like, speaking of that, they're out. We planning to do commuter rail in Fairbanks, of all places.
Are you sure it's not Anchorage? I think it'd be Anchorage.
Technically, it probably is Anchorage or Fairbanks. I have not been keeping up with the rail news up there.
Those are the two biggest cities, but Anchorage is like the biggest by far. And the only reason is the airport there.
I know, and saying is that they do have a commuter stop at the airport anyway.
I didn't even realize that when I was there.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Most people don't know about that. I never been to Alaska, but I damn mapped out the whole entire rail system there. I have a bad habit of being on Google Maps a lot when I was younger, you know?
Feel you.
So stuff like that would get inseared in the brain, if you know what I mean. But the Alaska Railroad would be interesting, mix, because that would have been a whole railroad right there, you know? Heck, they already have it, a Train Simulator Classic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that is cool. Now, there is another route that I actually thought about, and it's down in Central America. Do you know what it is?
Something in Brazil.
No, the Panama Canal Railroad.
Oh.
It
would be pretty neat, I can't lie. And I think they could probably do the entire...
It only 27 miles.
And
It only a 27-mile line.
But yeah, because one branch goes to the airport and it meets in the main place. Oh no, wait, that might be a commuter rail system.
Well, it got it.
The canal itself is marked as a train track on rail maps.
I know, but the Panama Canal Railroad, it used a GP40 at D70 and some, F40PH.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what crazy? The funny thing is, KCCP actually owns it now.
It's interesting.
No one in talking about that. Meaning they actually run in 4 countries when you just think about it.
Yeah. 2 continents, basically.
That technically means that, because if you remember, KCS owned the Panama Canal Railroad, and no one think about that. Am I right?
Yeah, that's 4 countries and 2 continents.
No one don't even talk about it.
It might technically be 5 countries. Some of the Mexican rail system goes to Guatemala, but oh, that's Faro Mixer now.
No, just saying about it. The track they have not used the track that went down into Guatemala since the 1980s and 90 when they had that little war.
Yeah.
And also, people don't know about it, but the tracks right there in Guatemala are dual gauge.
That's cool.
Thing is that once you get into Guatemala, the tracks just start going bad, and they're run down. You know.
Yeah.
Like, thing is that if we want to be able to connect to the Panama Canal Railroad, if we're going to have to build through Guatemala, rebuild the whole rail line down there, because if you go back all the way up until the 1960s, you take a train all the way. You've been able to take a train from all the way up in Canada all the way down to Panama. I'm not even joking. Now in Guatemala, you would have to transfer over to narrow gauge in some areas. But we lost all of that by the 1970s, you know?
Yeah.
Heck, and the biggest narrow gauge rail system in North America lasted up until 1994. And that was in Newfoundland, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Newfoundland, Canada had the last major narrow gauge freight rail system in North America.
Yeah.
And guess who owned that system? Guess who owned it?
Who?
CN. CN had a narrow gauge freight system all the way up until 1994.
Cool.
And that was in Newfoundland, of all places.
They still have tracks up there, or trains running, or no?
Nope. Torn up by 1984.
Yeah, there's some mining railways up in Labrador.
Labrador,
Or not,
yes.
Not Labrador, yeah.
Labrador still had something. Now here, Jane, there are technically not 3, but 4 railroads that are cut off from the main rail system. 2 of them get rail barges in. The other 2, they don't.
Yeah. Or Newfoundland, Labrador, same thing. Labrador's the reservations.
Yeah. And Labrador are part of the main area up Canada, you know?
I want to go up there. That's interesting.
Oh, the trains up there are amazing. Like, I seen video and photos of it. It's crazy. Also, you got an interesting mining railroad that is iron ore that uses a switcher and a GP9 to haul freight.
Yeah. Oh, you know another railway? I want them to add a train somewhere else.
What is the railroad?
I want them to add the Finnish railway. That's interesting because it's a really wide gauge.
Oh my God, yes. That would be so interesting. Bring on the Finnish,
So,
mean.
Lahtir or something. I can't pronounce that town. That'd be cool. That's a 220 kilometer an hour section. I'm assuming pretty high frequency. Those are pretty big cities.
Yep. Don't get me wrong. The Finnish are funny as can be, and they're cool as hell, you know?
Yeah. Some Nordic railway, either Finland or Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
Norway's not that interesting. Denmark's somewhat interesting.
Actually, it is because they have. They're going to blow your mind, but Finland is the only country where let me remember. Turbine steam engines actually worked properly.
What do you mean?
You know what a turbine steam engine train is? A train that uses turbine or gas turbines?
Yeah.
You know how they were a complete failure here in the U.S.?
I think GE did all right with theirs. They were really expensive to operate.
They were. Now, here, Jane, Sweden actually had 3 that they built back between the 1920 and early 30. They built 3 of them. and they work wonderful. They lasted all the way up until the late 50, early 60 on the line that they were on before that line was electrified.
Yeah,
And they made it into preservation.
that's cool.
So there are only 3 of them that, and they're not gas turbine, they're, let me remember, steam turbines. And they're the only steam turbines in preservation. That cool. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And up in the Nordic country, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and the only reason I know about it is History in the Dark. Like, History in the Dark did a video about them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was mind-blowing. And I mean mind-blowing. That D-Team made it into preservation. Meaning they are one of a kind. Am I right?
Yeah.
Now, it's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie about that. But that would be nice to have a rail route set in the 1950s from the turbine to electrified hauling iron ore, you know?
Mm.
That would be freaking awesome right there, no doubt about it. Like, literally, and two of the steam turbines are still operational. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
But all 3 of them survived, meaning they were very successful.
Yeah, no, the Finland route, that would be cool. Lahidi to Helsinki, it's exactly like an hour's for the train schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And they do up to 125 miles an hour.
I know, but it's freaking awesome.
Oh, and it's a quad track thing, like the Northeast Corridor, kind of like down in New Jersey. It's oh no, that's like that station. No, it's a double track.
You know, I actually follow a YouTuber who rail fan in Finland.
I found a few.
I'm not gonna lie, it's cool, but it's so interesting. Because
All right, I gotta go to bed. I gotta like it's kind of early.
All right.
Rough fan.
All right, later, man.
Yeah.
All right. I hope y'all enjoyed Chaka to Groot. But yeah. That was our friend Groot right there, but I hope y'all enjoyed. Oh, come on. Uh-oh, Discord acting up. Up, there we go. But yeah, nope. Damn it. Yeah, didn't want to reason why I gotta get a new tablet. But this is a big step forward, if y'all know what I mean. But it's something I am looking forward to. You busy? Yes. Sorry. No more calling tonight. Oh, 1 minute. I'm talking to a man from Tokyo. Yeah. All right, look like all right, there we go. All right, look like he busy so. You busy? I'm going to see Rail Pony busy. because it's always good trying to get new people on. That I'm not going to lie about. It's always enjoyable getting new people onto the live stream. Maybe someone new, but yeah. But it's always cool in a way. Event 2. Damn. But yeah. It is already 11:45 and we've been going on for 2 hours. Talked about a lot of crazy stuff tonight, but also the victory, the miracles, but yeah. Now, it is getting late at almost 12 in the morning, so I got to get ready to head to bed because I got work tomorrow. But I hope y'all enjoyed the live stream. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, guys, and have a night.